Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Conqueror Gun Carriage. It's the Tier 10 British SPG located on the south spawn of Cliff Encounter. This one is under the command of a fingernail clipping, and this was the second place in the competition, the second place winner for 5,000 gold. Yep, it's Chuck Norris in command. Now, 1 mark of excellence on the barrel, and this is a pretty gritty game actually in many senses, because well, as in common with other What Arty Noobs players and members, he carries on the fight even to the last second of the game and does exceptionally well. Okay, we're looking at the Western Pass at the moment, leading up to the donut. Got a Kunstpanzer on the enemy team, trying to make his way up there, and rounds out. That was good. The guy stopped suddenly, which stopped us getting a direct hit, but it was a good strike because he did get 228 hit points of damage. And the enemy started capping straight away. Now, it's normally not a good idea to cap on this particular site, mainly because if you do, the Arty can get lots of resets on you by lobbing shells into the cap area, because there's only a few limited areas in the cap that you can go for. He just spotted a tracer. I saw that tracer as well, and he fired the exact spot where he thought he was. But it looks like the shell exploded either directly in front of him or the guy moved after firing. Okay, we're looking at the cap area and we can see that object 430. So say there's only a limited number of places you can go in a cap in the center of the map, because if you do, you're more likely going to get reset. Oh, that was unfortunate. Our Viz 55 got shot up the rear by an MX M451. But the shot that goes into the cap area actually does get a reset and 444 hit points off of Viz 55. You notice how he's changing position as well, because, of course, after hitting the enemy Arty, and he more than likely did get a hit on that enemy, he's now likely to receive return fire if he makes himself noticed. Okay, we've got 2 enemies in the cap, but we've also got one of our guys in the cap, and that means that the cap is temporarily stopped. Rounds out. Direct hit for 490. Now these HE stun shells actually are capable of 1,000 alpha, 59mm of pen, 11.6 meters on burst radius, between 13.5 and 33 seconds of stun. It's a big hitter, this gun, but it also has a very long reload. Okay, we're loaded again. Looking for another target. He's found a couple of tanks over there. Fires in at the Jaegeru. Well, he may have missed it. It may have gone long. The standard reload for this Arty is 44.1 seconds. And we can see a fingernail clipping has got it down to 34.83. That Viz 55 could be taken out of the game with a penetrating shot, but it's not likely to, mainly down to the fact, of course, that he does have considerable armor. And it looks like the enemy tried to stop our guys coming around the corner, so we're about to put a shell his way. Oh, good hit on the object 430, stunned both of them. And they've started the cap again. See the Jaeger's pushing forward. We've lost all of our teammates that were around the edge of the cliff, and now the Centurion 7-1 has gone down. So we're we're 2 down on the enemy, and now they have the cliff edge area. The Progetto 66 on our team, it's a long way round the cliff, is the last line of defense from that side. So he's decided to move a bit further out to the open, and he'll probably try to hit the enemy as they come around the cliff. We're looking towards the center again. Viz 55 in there, and we can reset. Trying to pick the spot. You can see those columns do get in the way sometimes, but then the enemy drives into an area where you can get a reset. Oh, unfortunately missed out on the defender there. That Leopard is in a lot of trouble. Very low hit points now. And here comes the enemy. They've made their way around the cliff edge, and we can see the Object 430 and a T110E3. Ideally, you want to hit them both at the same time. Rounds out the E3. Took a long time to get there, but it's a long flight time for the shell. 3.7 seconds. We still have the Centurion 7-1 right up on top of the hilltop. Okay, we've got the side of a Jaegeru there. Rounds out. Oh, we're going to hit the rear. Oh, it goes to one side. 340 hit points. We're now up to 2.5k of damage, plus of course almost 2k of stun assist. And on top of that, the fact is there are some shots that we didn't see, so we don't know the damage on those. The Jaegeru just gone down to the Centurion, firing down on him from above. You can't be too happy about that. But then when you are down below and there's somebody sitting up above you, it's fairly easy for them to penetrate your roof. And the Leopard 1's about to find the enemy. Batch at 155.58. He does, and takes him out of the game. So we're down to now just 3 players left on our team. A Viz 55 who's very low on hit points. Rounds out.
That was close.
It damaged him, but it didn't kill him. Our Centurion's come all the way down. He's going after that Object 430. Oh, he missed the shot though, and he takes a big hit. And now, oh dear, this is not good for the Centurion. He's lost a lot of hit points, and he gets taken out by the 430 in the end. That probably was a bit of a bad decision there to come down after the 430. Just stayed up top. We're now down to just 2 players left on our team. Oh, we got a splash kill. The 430 went within the splash zone, and there is somebody capping, so somebody's in there. With more than 6.5 minutes left on the cap. Well, not on the cap, on the game rather, I should say. It's going to take the enemy at least 3.5 minutes to cap out, because of course it's a encounter game, so it's twice as long on the cap. Okay, so we've got the Leopard on one side of the cap, on one side of the map rather. The Viz 55, who's a very low hit point tank now, because of course he was the one we just failed to hit. And he's gone down. He fired at the position, the last known position, and he's out. But they are still capping, and that means it can only be the T110E3 or the strip that's in the cap, and I think it's the E3 that's capping. So it's 2 against 2. At one point we were behind, but there's ages to go, and well, only 2. The strip's been found. Oh dear, the strip's gone, and that means now that it's only as it is at this moment, it's only a fingernail clipping in his CGC. And he's got to try and get a reset when he doesn't know where the enemy is within that cap. He fires in. Nope, no joy on that one. This is where it does help us to actually get closer to the center of the map, because you're firing almost not vertically, but firing to the eastward into the cap area, and those columns are less of an obstruction. The only problem is he's actually getting closer to the enemy. And of course, we know that the cap is the T110E3. We know that for certain because the strip was the one up on the heights. But now we're looking in now. That's where he was aiming before. He thinks that the enemy might be in there. Unfortunately not. Still got over a minute. He's been spotted. The strip's seen him. Remember, that strip's got a 103mm gun. This is a heavy beast, this thing. 60 tons in weight. So the strip, he's really in a bit of a pickle, because yes, he could come in, but he's going to have to, if he does go into the siege mode, we can take advantage of him, because we can just roll over the top of him if necessary, if we can. But it's also that the strip, when he's out of siege mode, becomes less accurate. Okay, here he comes. Well, we shotgunned him for 582, and now we're getting the better of him because we can actually almost keep alongside him. He's also a tank destroyer that relies on being able to get the front of his vehicle to the enemy. And although he's actually lined up now, he'll only hit... Oh, he did fire in. He's blocked. So we're fighting this out to the end. Last few seconds of the cap. And... Oh! One last shotgun sets light to the strip, but they've capped out. What a fight to the end. Well, despite this being a loss, it was still an ace tanker game from a fingernail clipping in the CGC, the Conqueror Gun Carriage. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. He managed to get 13. And he also got a Starks medal for getting at least 2 kills, receiving at least 2 shots from the enemy, blocking at least 2/3 or receiving damage of 2/3 of his hit points. In fact, he had very few hit points left at the end of the game, and surviving the battle altogether. His win rate, 5,467, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. Funnily enough, that was the Striv who got the high caliber and 6,395 hit points of damage, and he survived. The second highest damage in the game turned out to be the Leopard 1 on our team with 4,958. And the third highest damage actually was a fingernail clipping with 4,186. When it came to kills, the high scorer was the Leopard 1. He got 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Striv 1030 and the Batchat 155.58 on the enemy team. 2 kills went to a fingernail clipping, the T110E4 on his own team, the M103, the Object 430, and the AMX M451 on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, well, of course, it's the enemy team comes out on top. The Striv managed 1,363. The M103 got 1,052. And in third place, it was STB1 with 924. You can see the capper, the person who picked up the Invader medal, the T110E3, didn't really do much in that battle. In fact, he didn't get a single kill or a single hit point of damage. So I reckon he was only there for the beer, so to speak, and was a fairly inexperienced player, didn't know how to win, so just capped out in the end. And we can see the fingernail clipping picked up 614 base experience points. He wasn't the winner or the leader on his team because the Centurion 7-1 did well for the 672, but unfortunately he met his match in that Object 430 and unfortunately got wiped out rather than staying up the hill. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 17 rounds. That's a lot of rounds for a Conqueror Gun Carriage. 7 direct hits on the enemy. None of them penetrated, but he did get 20 splash. 4,186 hit points of damage, of which 2,856 were at more than 300 meters. The close shots, well, that was when he was tussling with the Striv 1030, and of course several of the other enemy. 2 hits received, 1 penetration, 1 non-penetration, both in the Striv. 390 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 1,778 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he actually made a loss of 25,816 credits from the game. Even if he'd had a premium account, he still would have made a loss, but it would have been less. He got 5 bonds because it was tier 10, and he got 989 XP at the end of the game. He got the Courageous Resistance Award on both cases because he was getting a medal out of this game. In the end, the Stark's medal. So he did earn extra because he put up a fight. And it is surprising that he did survive, actually, to be honest. I'm wondering if that Striv was ammo-racked, and that's why he wasn't able to, that shotgun might have actually ammo-racked him right at the moment he came around the corner. Fingernail clipping effectively saved himself from being killed because the enemy Striv was just unable to put the shell in to get a kill shot. And so he survived the game, even after he fired at point-blank range and had himself within the blast radius. So he lost hit points from his own shell, but he still kept fighting to the bitter end. And, well, we like that. Any Arty player who keeps fighting until the bitter end because he knows he could, then yes, do so. It's a pity that they capped out against the T110E3 did it, but then he couldn't do everything. He was left facing 2 enemies all alone, and one of them was capping, so he had to watch out for that other one. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. I know certainly I was amazed that he survived at the end of the game, but very badly damaged. But yeah, he put up a good fight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.